Danish kings have camped about 5 miles upriver. They are preparing to attack as soon as possible.
Then obviously we should attack them at once.
I don't think so.
What possible advantage do we gain by delaying? They will very soon discover that we are here.
I'm sure they already know we're here. I propose we go down there and we speak to them.
Speak to them?
That is the best way to avoid a terrible battle and unnecessary death.
And how do we know that you will not just betray us and join them?
You don't. But if you want to overrule your king, who appointed me the leader of the army, go ahead.
Bitch, please. Opa, you know, he grew.
There been a fina.
Looks like a trap. Yeah. Looks. Yeah. Oh shit. Well, they haven't shoot yet. They haven't shot yet, so. We come to greet your kings. Let's capture them and then take them to our kings. What?
You see, you're famous.
He is. He is a son of Ragnar that carries something in this world. I hope. I hope. I mean, I'd rather be, you know, welcome. Oh, she's giving birth. She's giving birth. But yeah, I'd rather be welcomed like this than with glares and in silence. It's too much for you. You kill people left and right, but this is too much for you. Oh, men, you know, during the birth. He can't do anything. It's not a battle he can do, you know? True. That is true. Baby! Oh! It'd be better if it was yours. Yeah, something's wrong.
What is it?
You have a son, King Ivar.
Hey. Oh, look at him. Oh, look at him.
Give me my baby. He will not be able to take the milk from your breast.
What are you talking about?
Give me my baby! My beautiful little Baldur. My little god. Show Ivar his blessed son.
Yes.
He's deformed or something.
Give him my
Yeah,
son.
he got something. Oh.
My divine Baldur.
That's the name of the kid.
Waited for this.
Did I not tell you? And
Oh my
did you
god.
not believe me when I said that deformity is a true sign of the god's favor?
Yeah, but... She's deluded. Look at his face! I actually really feel bad for him.
I don't understand. You're leading a Saxon army.
Kind of looks like Floki.
Yes.
Just a little bit.
We have made an alliance with him. Before you and your people even got here, King Alfred of Wessex has granted us a large area of land in his kingdom. It was always my father's dream to establish a working settlement here.
What does that mean to us?
If your armies are willing to give up the sword, then you can move into the lands in East Anglia at once. Instead of dying uselessly on the battlefield, your warriors and your shield maidens can take up the plow and the loom, and they can make a life here.
Kind of goes against what the
There's nothing
Vikings
to
want,
stop you,
though.
and yet you have every...
Dying in battle.
Most of them want, yeah.
Two of us want to avail ourselves and our warriors of your offer, but
King Frodo refuses to agree. He wants to continue the raid.
Then there's only one thing left to do. I take your refusal as an insult. And I challenge you to a single combat.
It's
Good.
interesting.
This makes me very happy. Uber Lothbrok.
It's very interesting because this way he avoids unnecessary deaths, if possible. Well, you think he dies here? Killed by nobody? You never know. It's true.
Ik kan stoppen om liefde frikker. Ik kan stoppen om te komen frikker. Allt för att jag förkert är förfärd frikker. Jag kan namligen missa att från mig nya vinkar. Jag vill fara i genom helgrindarna. Om fara djupt ner och göra dina tänker som tverka ner av aldrig dina uppfinningar. Jag kan få dra fram.
Tata, Diagram, I have decided to go with you after all
Oh.
and attack Ivar's kingdom.
Bit late.
Good.
And I mean, he suffered for nothing, but okay. At least he's got people on his side.
I waited for you. I thought you would make everything perfect. Because you would be like a god. But it was only a dream. You are not divine. Because you remind me of myself. And you would continue to remind me and everyone else of what I am. You see, I cannot let that happen.
That's a shitty reason.
I cannot allow you to suffer like I have suffered throughout my life. I'm gonna do that to you. Hmm? What kind of a father can do that to a son? To any son? I cannot help you anymore. You'll have to make your own way in life, but my boy.
It's so similar to how his dad left him, you know?
Yeah, but he doesn't have a mother like Haslok to come and get him.
I know. I think it's a shitty thing though, like you wanna kill your baby, that's one thing, but don't fucking just leave him to die of cold and hunger and eaten by the fucking wolves and stuff. Make it clean and fast, I don't know.
I think that would have maybe too much for him.
I understand, but still. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
When we started watching this show, like, we mentioned that out of the two of us, you had seen some stuff before, you know, we even started watching Vikings. So did you know about his son?
I knew that his son was deformed. I didn't know that he left him for dead by the wolf.
Well, the way he said it, you know, he can't help him any longer. He has to basically go at life his own way, is exactly the same way Ragnar basically did it. He was like, he went in the woods with the axe to kill Ivar, but then he couldn't afford, I mean, he couldn't bear to do it, so he left him with the axe nearby, and he basically just See,
Well,
if the gods wanted him to survive, he was gonna survive.
If I remember correctly, I know that in the game Assassin's Creed Valhalla, if you want to give an honorable death to somebody, you need to give them their axe before they died. They need to die with the axe in their hand to join the Vikings with Odin.
So he did it with his son.
Maybe that was he did with his son to give him an honorable death so that he will join the
Well,
Vikings.
still, to me,
as
it
a
felt
warrior.
like it felt like he went in the woods to kill Ivar with the axe, and then instead he left him there, not knowing if he was gonna die or survive. But it was gonna be up to him. So whether it's that or the other, I don't know. But in this case, he basically I understand not having the strength to do it. You know, like I don't know what's wrong with his face, but they said he couldn't drink milk, so I'm guessing he's got a deformity in his face.
What I think he might have, because since he cannot drink milk, you know what Joaquin Phoenix had?
Yeah, bec de lièvre.
Yeah. I don't remember what's the term in English, but I think that's what he had as a deformity, you know?
That would make sense, because he can't suckle with his lips and stuff. Which, unfortunately, I know they can't fix that, but it's not like he can still live with that, you make efforts, you work around it, but you can still have him eat.
It's more or less difficult. People who got that type of
it's true though,
deformities cannot handle certain type of food, and I don't know what's the rate of people who die because of it. If it's not treated later on when they're
does it bring?
grown up,
I really don't. I know nothing about it except what it looks like and everything. But so I can understand why they were saying that the baby couldn't, drink milk and everything. But give him goat's milk or something. Have it, go down his throat slowly, and you can feed him this way. There are ways. Yeah, but then his speech.
I'm gonna have to look it up. What happens if you don't treat it?
But then his speech though changed the entire situation in my eye. When I was saying that's a shitty reason, is because when he started his speech, he was saying stuff like, "I can't have you basically." Remind them of that and stuff. So I was like, what, you want to kill your kid because when people look at him they're gonna see your weakness? So I thought that's what he meant. So I was like, gosh, that's a shitty reason. But then he went and said he didn't want his kid to suffer like he did for years.
Yeah.
And the worst is Ivar's condition might be more difficult to overcome, but he doesn't look weak. He still can do, you put him in a chair or something, you put him, he can, build stuff to walk tall and everything. He learned to stand up, and when he stands up, no one knows. But then when you have a deformity, like his son, you can't hide that. So his son would have had it worse, maybe, than his father. First of all, because, he couldn't hide it, like his dad did. He wouldn't be able to hide it. And second of all, because his dad spent months saying that he and his son were going to be gods and stuff. His son would have been laughed at because he would have been proof that they're not holy like he thought.
Yeah.
So, by the way, again, the actor is so fucking good. The actor is the joy in his face when he heard the cries, him being uncomfortable when he noticed the birth and stuff, that was perfect. And then
he was scared.
Oh, the love when he held him, and then the realization, it was all in his face. That was just beautifully acted. Very sad, even though it made me, during the scene in the woods, it made me forget the horrible thing he did in the beginning of the episode.
In the end, it is still about a father and his son.
In his mind, he is his son, so. Yeah. And the baby doesn't know otherwise, so.
True.
If he learns the truth, that's something else. But he killed him thinking it was his son, so.
Yeah, but even if he does learn the truth about where his son came from, he might still feel the same thing, because we've seen people...
Well, it's done.
Yeah, it is done, but we've seen people who help raise kids
Yeah,
who
but
were
they-
on their own, you know.
Yeah, but they know.
Yeah, they knew about it.
They choose to do it.
That's another story, of course it is. I don't know how Frida is gonna react to this, because in
Bad.
our mind, our little son was
A god.
a god, a blessing from the other gods.
And like, how are people around him gonna take it? Because he's basically, the fact that his son was born with a deformity and that he had to kill him is proof that he's not a god. He's just a normal human being who is prone to have tragedies happen to him, you know? He's vulnerable to incidents and to bad luck and deformities and handicaps and illnesses and stuff,
Yeah.
just like anyone else, which is why I really love, like, again, his speech at the end, because he was basically saying that, you know, he was saying your deformity is proof that you're not holy, but by saying that, he's basically saying, I'm not holy, I've never been holy, I wanted to believe I was, and I wanted to give that to you, but I'm not, so now you're, the way he was saying it, you inherited my weakness, that's what he said, which is very fucking sad.
It's sad, because in a way it's true that he's thinking that it's his fault that his son is the way that it is, which is
No, because he had nothing. First of all, he had nothing to do with
first
the
of all,
baby.
it's not his biological son.
And I don't.
But I can understand why you think that.
Is it something that runs in the family? Like, is it hereditary? Bec de lièvre?
I think it might be, but I remember that I had one person in my class in high school who had it, but not a mother, not a father, not her brother. So maybe
Well,
one
maybe
of her
it's like-
grandparents. I don't know if it's hereditary. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, but still, and even then, you know, it's not his fault. You know, even if it was hereditary, it's not his fault. It's never your fault. Especially with this, like, we're not talking like something even worse than that. You know, we're talking a deformity in the face. Like, but I understand that in those days, you know, they don't have the needs, they don't have the medical needs, they don't have the medical knowledge to correct it. So I can understand, especially if they expect him to eat, to drink the milk off his mother's breast, you know, they expect him to be able to suckle, and he won't be able to do that. I said before that you can work around it, maybe.
If I remember correctly, I think in some places during those time, if a baby was born with a deformity, people think that it was cursed or something. Like this was a child of the
devil.
Of the devil.
It's a possibility. But with Ivar, it goes deeper than that, because he had a problem, and then having his son have a problem too, he definitely, you know, put it on his own back.
Yeah.
And to have him go through that emotionally, I want to see a change in his character. I want to see how he's going to take it, because it's huge. Having to kill your son?
Yeah.
Because you think that you gave him your handicap? That's something.
Yeah, it's true. Technically, he did the same thing that his own father did.
Wanted to do.
Well, his father let him to die in the
Yeah, but
woods.
like you said, he didn't have his son didn't have a mother who felt it. You know, she Aslog, I think she felt Ivar call for her almost. You know, she knew what was going to happen. She had a feeling that this baby was hers, and she had to keep him. And then she knew that Ragnar was going to try and do that, so she felt it. You know, she went there and she took him. But there's nothing special about Ivar's girl, you know, Ivar's wife, and I'm pretty sure she felt nothing, so she's not gonna go get him in the woods. Although I still think that as hard as it is, he should have given him a clean death. You know, I think it's horrible to leave a baby alone in the cold like that. Like, that baby is feeling it.
Yeah.
I know, like, it could mean that he's basically leaving his faith to the gods. And if he's meant to survive like Ivar did, well, he will survive, and that's it. But then it's most probable that he's going to die, but still.
There's a very, very little chance that somebody's going to come and save him.
And for it to happen, like, right after he made that huge sacrifice, killing a lot of people because they defiled him, you know, because they once again basically said that he wasn't holy, that they didn't want to believe in that. And he basically, you know, he forced it on them, you know, he
He
killed them
burned them
all.
alive because they were going against him.
Yeah.
Like a huge warning that if you try to go against me, you're gonna die.
And the
then
way he
his
did
son,
it too, you know?
His son is born and he's deformed, and that's a huge slap in his face for him.
And you know how you could actually read it? You know, Judith is reading into this like the same way. You know, she killed a son and she thinks she's being punished with breast cancer. Same way, like, Ivar did this. You know, he killed his people. He went against everything his father, you know, implemented in Kattegat. He changed everything for the worse. And he's rewarded with a son with a deformity.
Which both of them are totally non-related, but
no,
still.
I know, but they do believe in the gods. They do believe in faith. They believe in you know, in being punished for wrongdoings and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Karma. What did you think about Lagertha acknowledging Judith as a warrior?
Acknowledging what?
Acknowledging Judith as a warrior.
I thought
A
it
shield
weird.
man.
I thought it weird that she just brushed over the I killed my son and now I'm dying. You know, like she basically said out loud that she killed her son, and I thought that only Alfred knew it. But and Lagertha's a mother, like she just didn't hear. Even like Alfred's girlfriend, like does she know? Because Judith basically said she killed Aethelred. So I'm like, okay, we're just gonna brush over that. That's good. I thought it was a cool scene. You know, I thought it funny because they're basically saying to the youngest one, you know, you're young, you can fight anything. Meaning, we've been there before. We fought anything. But now we're old. We went through some shit. Ooh, you know? But, and I mean, they are both, I think Lagertha suffered maybe even more than Judith. But Judith had her fair share of suffering. You know, she lost everyone. She lost Egbert. She lost her husband. She lost an ear before that. She lost her family. She had to kill her son. Maybe she's acknowledging that, you know, you're a warrior who had to do sacrifices and make tough decisions for your family, for your country. I acknowledge it. And we're women, too. You know, we had to survive in this sexist world, even though Lagertha had it better on this side. But she was still, you know, treated as a woman by a lot of men, you know, the weaker sex. So they treated her differently sometimes. She proved them wrong over and over again, but still. So I thought it nice that she basically told her that she's still a warrior, and to feel dejected, depressed in the face of death is stupid, because there is an adventure in death, and she strongly believes in that. Like, she's still religious. So to have her say, you know, don't feel like that. Like, you didn't lose anything. You're still going to continue. It's just on the other side, which was cool.
Yeah.
Although I wish I could feel
remorse
bad for Judith, but I don't.
But you get it around.
Like, she killed her son. That's Lagertha. I thought it was sad, like to see her in that state, considering, you know, what led her to that, you know. And it's interesting that she saw Ragnar instead of anyone else. But he's her true love, you know. He's the guy that she wishes she could have been with, and the reason she didn't have him anymore wasn't, at least she doesn't consider it her fault, and it wasn't her fault, you know. Some people were saying that she should have stayed, but I'm like, he cheated. He had a kid with another woman.
I think that a part of her feels guilty that she didn't went with him
when he asked
to Wessex. When he asked,
definitely, because it led to a series of losses and death and stuff. Whereas, you know, if she had kept with Ragnar, maybe he would still be alive. She doesn't know that he wanted to die.
If she would have went with Ragnar, she would have killed Aslaug probably, because she wouldn't be there. Yeah. And they wouldn't have the huge fight between the son of Ragnar afterwards.
Well, if Ragnar was still alive, no, the sons wouldn't be fighting each other. But the thing is, she doesn't know, but Ragnar wanted to die. That's one thing I think she doesn't understand with Ragnar. It's because she's so religious. Like, she believes in faith so much. I don't think she ever understood Ragnar's lack of faith, especially in the end, where he wanted to prove, well, it's not that he lacked faith, but he wanted to prove that his faith didn't stand in the hands of the gods.
Yeah.
So by trying to kill himself, by trying to end his destiny his own way, he was kind of trying to prove that he had control. I think that's something she never understood, because she always gave herself to the gods. So, you know, mourning over him, it's understandable, but I don't think, you know, he did ask for her to come, but he was still looking for a way to end it at the end. So, but it was interesting to see her both in the place of the Egbert. Basically, she was in the place of Egbert, looking fondly and, you know, with sadness and stuff, and also being in the place of Ayla, and in the place of the people who threw the snakes and stuff.
She wasn't in Ragnar's place, so she was in the cage.
Yeah, looking up at him. Yeah, she was everywhere, but it means that she feels a lot of confliction. Like, she feels maybe that she's responsible, and at the same time, like, she still mourns for him, and she wishes she could have traded places with him, maybe, because, I don't know, maybe she thinks that if he had stayed, he would have, for all his faults, he would have done a better job of handling his things, you know, I don't know. He did he had his fair share of mistakes, but, she was down, like, she was depressed, she cut her hair, she was gone.
She wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
Alright, that's a huge discussion.
And just like brushing over, Hvitserk has an army and Harald is pissed off. And Floki is doing something.
Yeah, Floki's done.
We'll see more of them maybe next episode, but
yeah, true.
Woo! Oh, it was an intense episode. Emotions galore. Like, I've been saying, we talked about this a little bit, because I've been saying that I love the emotions that this season is exploring. But I have to say, I think for me, you know, when people were saying, some people prefer the early seasons of Viking, and other people prefer the later seasons of Viking, I've tried really hard to just love both the same, but I think I'm a Ragnar fan through and through.
Okay.
I love the early seasons, and it's not that I hate the later seasons, it's just that there are more moments I remember fondly from the first seasons than now, but this episode was very good.
Alright then.
I like when Ivar gives us a lot of emotions, be it good or bad.
Well, he's good at it.
He is good at it. Okay, so that's it?
That's it for me.
So let's move on.
It's already long enough.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next episode right away, it will be on Patreon very soon. Check it out. The link is in the description.
Yep, so don't forget to subscribe if you want to watch it now, guys. And if not, wait for the next one to be out on YouTube, guys. Yes. We're gonna see you then.
Bye.